Adam Harcourt said, "Can I just say that you are the reason I now run 2 Plex servers? Your videos have been a great help. Where can I get the hoodie and shirt?" Okay, you got the link, and this other guy, Dan Keller, was like, "I run 2 Plex servers also and bought NAS units because of Jason." I just wanted to start this video off with a little feel good. You know what I'm saying? Plex is awesome and everything, but if you really want to squeeze the most features out of your Plex media server, you can get a Plex Pass. Now, while there are many benefits to having a Plex Pass versus a free user account, my favorite one is getting early access to new features that Plex has not yet released to the general public. So if you're like me and you want to try out those new features, check out the description down below. Down there, you can either purchase a Plex Pass for yourself or a friend, and hey, if you don't have a free account, use my link as well. It helps me out. So check out the description down below to get your Plex Pass today. What's up, YouTube? Jason here with Byte My Bits. Yes, that did count as one question / response thing, but you know, it feels good. The reason why I actually talked about this, because literally like 5 minutes before, we're seeing this comment, I watched a video by Casey Neistat, and he was going on, or he's reading an article talking about don't do YouTube, it's not financially stable, crush your child's souls, and some other stuff. And Casey was basically like, hey, people don't just like start and only do YouTube for money. A lot of people, they just want to share content and they want to do things, that sort of stuff. So bringing me to the comment here, I think this actually solidifies or kind of reassures why I started YouTube. Basically, I started because I'm really into Plex and I like technology, and sometimes when I do and mess and tinker, I learn and I like to share that. So when I see things like this where it's like, man, I run 2 Plex servers, I got NAS, all this stuff, it makes me feel good. So it's cool. Anyways, guys, welcome to episode number 9 or 10 of Jason Bites Back, the series of which I answer and or respond to comments, questions, or concerns posted on my YouTube channel over the last month, of course. Now, I always start off by looking at the last Jason Bites Back video, so if you want the best possible chance of having a real question answered, that is the place to leave it. So post them down below. So in today's pre-vomit session, I want to talk about a couple things. First and foremost, thank you all of my Patreons for supporting me. You're awesome, a little crazy for giving me money, but hey, you do, and I appreciate it. So if you are not aware of it already, $10 plus Patreon subscribers, you now have access to last month's Patreon video. It is on the Patreon page, so go check that out. It's exclusive behind the scenes of that little spoof interview thing that I did where I'd use deep fakes to pretend to be other YouTubers. So go check that out. Pretty awesome. Also, second thing, if you notice, I'm wearing a little shirt. It's got like an embroidery. God, I have such a hard time with that word. It says Byte My Bits. It is the old logo. I liked it. I went with it. It is what it is. But I got this new shirt in. I do like everything. It's like $22 just because it's like fancy and everything. Anyways, the point is, for a Patreon exclusive, I want to be able to give one of these shirts to each person who has reached $60 or more. And you'll learn more about this in the Patreon video in the beginning vomit that I did. But basically, at the end of this video, I will list everybody who donates, as I always do, or at least try to always do. So take a look at that. And if your name is highlighted, assuming I remember to do so, which I better remember to do so, Jason, remember to highlight those names when you're editing. Do it. But if your name is highlighted, just get in contact with me on Patreon and let me know if you want a shirt, and if so, where do I ship it to? And I might actually even link to the shirt itself, because I think those shirts have color options. I know they have color options. So if you want a different color shirt than like the gray or whatever this is, let me know and I will custom order one for you. Just a way to say appreciation for my current Patreon subscribers. I don't know if this is going to be a rolling thing, but I do want to show that appreciation to people who have stuck with me and donated money, even though I think they're cray-cray for doing so. But I also want to know if you actually want a shirt and or if I can deliver a shirt to you, because I don't want to order a bunch of shirts and spend like $22 on a shirt and then, have nowhere to send it. So the third thing I want to talk about is YouTube has like cut and clipped a bunch of wings on channel. So I have mixed feelings about it, because on one end, I'm sitting there thinking like, you know what, if you're at a level where if you don't have 1,000 subscribers or you don't have 10,000 views, honestly, you're not really missing out on much. I mean, it's like 15 cents or 45 cents that you miss out on. So honestly, I don't really think it cares. On top of that, again, like I said before, most people start YouTube with the idea of just wanting to share and create and just engage with people that they didn't have access to before. So I don't really care. On the other end, I have a second channel, random Amazon finds, highly neglected. I do plan on, starting or doing stuff with that later. Basically, the idea was just all this stuff that gets sent to me, just do like a quick video. I don't know, I didn't really perfect it. Either way, I put up a gun video that has, I don't know, last time I checked, it was 50 or 60,000 views on it, and I was getting like $5 a month from that thing. So yeah, I'm losing out on that now. Not that big a deal. I mean, it's mainly because I only have like 200 subscribers on that. I'm really surprised I have more than 2 subscribers on that. But either way, I kind of feel for the people who are losing a little bit of money, even though it doesn't really mean anything. It's more motivation. But if you are out there, you do have a YouTube channel, and you're trying to start yourself, just remember, it's not about the money. I'm 3 years into this thing, and I'm still spending more money than I'm making. So don't worry about the money. Just worry about the fun, the content, the creation, the sharing, the engaging. Just worry about all that first. Don't worry about the money. Okay, so moving on. Let's get to the questions and or comments. Second one. Remember, first one was at the beginning of the video. Second one, David Casely. I've asked the same question on Facebook. Just want to make sure you see it. It's my birthday tomorrow, and I want to, I want to buy one so bad. Happy birthday. Hey, I wondered if you can help me. I'm looking for a new NAS to run Plex, but I need a lot of transcoding to mobile/tablet devices away from home. I've been looking at blah, 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 and keep it okay. Now this question is one of those things like, okay, I tested out the Western Digital PR4100, and I was able to get 4 concurrent streams from that device, transcoding down from like 10 megabits to 2 megabits, which is probably in the range of what a mobile device will be able to do. But I wanted to bring this up because honestly, first of all, I don't have experience with all of the NAS devices out there. When I did the Western Digital, I was kind of locked into an exclusive thing with them. So I really kind of fell out of the whole NAS game. And 2, I mean, the PR4100 in its own right without hard drives was pretty expensive. I mean, you're talking like $500 to $600. So if you're going to be looking at spending an extra amount of money to get something because it's small or low powered, and if that's important to you, then it is what it is. But if you have that kind of a budget, you can definitely get on eBay and you can get old recycled servers that have, anywhere between 4 to 8 or more cores for way less than what you would spend on like a high-end NAS. So definitely look into that first before you start exploring the NAS, as long as the size and the power consumption is not like a huge deal to you. Next question from Stony Eagle. I can't tell you have issues editing video. The video slows down randomly. You can use your server to pre-encode your videos to Cineform, which is optimized for editing in Premiere. Look up Linus's video about his render farm. Okay, that's all great. It's a good idea. In fact, my computer could probably handle that faster than my server can, as far as an X99 versus the dual Xeon being slower cores. But in reality, a lot of mine is like run and gun and shy of just a few videos. Most of it's like shoot it, copy it, edit it, and publish it. There's really not a lot of downtime that could be spent waiting, ingesting like hundreds of gigs of footage. So it's a good idea. I've looked at it before. If I ever work on bigger projects or do things like wedding videos is an idea, where I might throw that in a render farm, make it easier to edit and stuff like that. That is definitely an option. I have not discounted that. I might set it up on just my main computer because it's faster. But yes, I agree. But in my particular instance for YouTube, I disagree. But for weddings, I agree again. Also, I got this. This is a 1080 Ti from EVGA, and I licked it. This is from EVGA, 1080 Ti. This thing is amazing. I added it to my main rig, my editing PC, and I used this, I got this specifically for the machine learning that was necessary for that deep fakes video, that interview video that I did with like Jay, Jerry, Linus, Paul, and Kyle. This is actually, it hasn't like made a huge improvement over my 980 Ti when it comes to like preview speeds, but I noticed the other day when I was speeding some footage up that I was actually able to go faster in my footage with the 980 Ti or with the 1080 Ti than I was with the 980 Ti before it started getting like, choppier. And that actually sparked some interest because I don't really know like what all is handed off to the CUDA cores versus the CPU cores, but that sparked some interest, and I started layering things on top of my like super high resolution 4K video. And like when you do like a title overlay or a PNG on top of it or whatever, when I was getting to like 1, 2, maybe 3 layers, it just took a crap. But this one, and again, I assume it's from this. I don't know, because I don't know that much about CUDA and Premiere and all that other stuff, but I was actually able to get over 5 different layers before it started crapping out. So is it because of this? Possibly. I think so. I hope so. I spent good money on it, so I really hope so. And on that topic, I spent good money on this, but I did not spend an arm and a leg. In today's market, I got this for a fairly decent price. I was actually thinking about making a video of how to get a 1080 Ti at a decent price if you're lucky. But it's kind of a crap video idea. I don't know. I might make a video about it. I don't know. I mean, these things MSRP for like $750, $800, and I basically got this for $850, brand new. So that's from a major retailer. So I might make a video about that. I don't know. Next question is from Craig Buzan. Jason, what do you do for backup of your big server? I know you're running RAID with parity drives, etc., which is great for hard drive security, but what about actual backup? Second site, do you have a favorite solution, and how are you configured? Craig, you're embarrassing me, man. I don't have backups, okay? I don't. Stop rubbing it in my face. No, the truth is, when it comes to super important things, I have a main backup, like through a pair of parity drive, 8 terabyte drives in my main computer, and then that's stored on the Zeus server. So there's 2 locations for kind of like, not like super, but like critical stuff that I really don't want to lose. And then for like super critical pictures, you know, just stuff that I just don't want to live without, I have that backed up manually to a server that I have, that, you know, in the cloud, so to speak, but, you know, not through any kind of service per se. It's a manual FTP to get access to it. But for my media though, yeah, I don't have anything at all. I mean, it's, for one, it's too much data. It would take months to upload, and 2, I don't know. It would cost too much money. It's too much risk. I just don't want to. I don't know. I don't foresee me ever adding a full-on legit backup with my entire server unless somebody close to me had a similar server setup, right, as far as capacity goes, and we sync our videos together, that sort of thing. Next question is, not scrolling over. Next question is from Pluto Fox, and that's not how you move a server. Jesus, I just had a hard drive fail just shifting my PC about. Lucky you're not effing the thing up, mate. More or less, that's what he said. Well, Pluto Fox, as I said in the comments, months later, all gravy, no errors. I think I got pretty lucky. Yes, it's a bad idea to move your hard drives while they're still spinning. I think I was pretty careful with it. I did no major jolts, took a lot of risk. Either way, everything's good. I did want to bring this up because it is a bad idea to move your server while it's running and keeping the hard drive spinning. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. It's a bad example, but you know, I hate turning my computer off, my server off, and yeah, that's why I did it. So. Next question is from God Adam. Blue Iris has its own web server to remotely view. Did you miss that? Link here. Okay, so this is on my video, of course, about the Blue Iris software that I use to run all of my cameras. And to answer your question, Adam, yes, I do know about the web server. The only problem is, and if anyone out there uses Blue Iris, you probably know this, the problem is that while it does work, that web server is good for what it is. It's a web interface. It runs fairly smoothly and it's pretty much real time. The problem is that it's controlled by JPEGs, and I haven't been able to get any kind of Flash thing to run, nor do I really kind of sort of not want to anyways. But the interface that you get from the web server is just more of a viewing portal with very limited options, and I don't know, I just don't like it. It's gimped in its own way. You know, it's not as full as an experience as you get with the full-on, you know, Blue Iris interface, which is why I basically have that server, that virtual machine, constantly and 100% 24/7 a day, just remoted in through TeamViewer, and I manage it that way. Sometimes if I'm away from the computer or not using it, like randomly it'll time me out, but there's a lot of times I'll keep it on for like a week and it won't time me out. So it's a little random. But using that interface is a lot more smooth, and I can go back and replay and edit, delete, do whatever I need to do, just a lot better than the web server that Blue Iris has. And I think I touched base on this before. I wish that I can install the Blue Iris software on my main computer, but then tie it to the actual server and still have the same interface, all the same options on my main computer, but just utilizing the virtual machine as its data. They don't have that. That would be nice. And if anyone has an option out there that's better than Blue Iris, let me know. I'll probably check it out. All right, next question is from Dim Rain.
Maybe I just don't understand. You pay money for the Unraid system, you don't get much of a performance boost or real redundancy, but you still prefer it after looking at all the features that FreeNAS has. Question mark. Cloud backup, having to spin down when they're not used, etc. I get that you may not need to add a protection, but it seems kind of odd unless you don't use those features. I'm glad you're happy with it, but maybe you know something that I don't. Cheers.
Well, Dim Rain, the thing about Unraid is that it has a lot of pros, but it also comes jam-packed with a bunch of cons. Like, hands down, you're going to suffer on speeds, like a read and write, if you're not using a cache disk anyways, compared to what a FreeNAS system can give you. Because a FreeNAS uses like, a RAID 5 or a RAID 6 equivalent, spins all those disks up at the same time. So you're just writing data a lot faster than you would on just one disk. And technically speaking, one could probably argue that, a ZF2 file system through FreeNAS could be possibly a little bit more secure than the Unraid parity system. But what you get with Unraid is the ability to add a drive anytime you want to, and you can mix and match different hard drive sizes. So that, for me, hands down, is like the best thing about Unraid. Not to mention, you can cover essentially like 20 or 30 hard drives with only one hard drive providing parity for all those drives. Is it as secure as FreeNAS? No way. 30 hard drives parodied by one drive is not going to be as secure as FreeNAS, but still, it gives you a lot more space, right? And then if for whatever reason your rebuild fails and you lose data on the drive that goes down and maybe another drive that went down in the rebuild process, you really only lose data on those two drives. You don't lose data on your entire array. With FreeNAS, it's all or nothing, man. It's just like you're either going to have it all or you're just going to be crying and singing sad tunes. Anyways, next question is, this is a feel-good thing. Barnacle Nerdgasm, aka Jerry Berg, posted on the video that I made. This is so funny. Well done, you nailed me. Well, Jerry, I have to say this.
I love it when you talk kinky.
No, but really though, Barnacles Nerd, he was the only guy who actually posted on the video. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. So, shout out to him for being humble like that. Jay posted on Twitter about it, but everyone else completely ignored it. I thought about spamming them saying, hey, did you guys see this? And seeing if they would respond to it. But, it's what happens when you're an ant playing a game in like, a not ant world. Moving on from that little feel-good thing, I have multi-scan 0001. What I have trouble finding and understanding is the type of lighting I need and how to set it all up. Would you have any information on that? This is on the video I made about the hardware, the camera, the microphone, stuff like that I bought in order to do live streams. Now, I have very few plans to do live streams, but I do, eventually want to get into doing live streams. But it covered the hardware like the camera, the microphones, etc. His question is actually kind of an intriguing one because everybody's setup is different. I mean, that's really the truth of it. Some people maybe have their monitors up against a wall. Some people have a wide open space. I mean, everybody has their own thing different. For example, for me in my computer room, my wall is like right here, so I have a bunch of space in front of me to put lights, although that's primarily covered by monitors, but still. So multi-scan, I don't have any exact information for you, but what I can say is that if you are kind of balling on a budget type of deal, go to Lowe's or Menards or something like that and get those little, light bulb holders, right? They're like, I don't know, $6. It's got a clip-on thing and holds a light bulb. You plug it in, you put a daylight CFL in there, and you might get away with maybe spending 10 or 12 bucks on a light, and then just put that around and kind of bounce it off some walls, Don't point it directly at your face, or if you want to do that, use something to diffuse it, like wax paper is a great example on how to diffuse a light, but play around with it. Hook up your camera, put the, light in one corner and bounce it off this corner and move it around, bounce it off your, do whatever you need, but play with it. And once you kind of work and see how your camera adjusts to the intensity of the lighting, how your face looks, whether or not you have shadows underneath your eyes, that sort of thing, you play around with it long enough and your light should hopefully, potentially, maybe look better than what it did when you started. I know it's not like, a walkthrough on how to get better lighting, but if you get like 2 lights and you play with them, I guarantee you could probably get way better results than you have just by your regular, computer room lighting. So next question, and also the last question, Ketty 2005. Been watching your vids for a while. Hope you guide me in the right direction. I'm building a Plex server using consumer hardware since I don't really need 24 or 48 drives yet.
I have 5 at the moment, and I chose Fractal Design Define R5, which made up to 14 drives Windows. My problem is the motherboard only has 6. Okay, skipping to the end.
He basically needs a RAID card. He recommended the LSI 9211-8i in IT mode or the Dell H310 IT mode. And he wanted to know if that supports Windows 10. First of all, I don't know 100% if that card supports Windows 10, even though I have 3 of them. In fact, I think it's either the 9211 or the one underneath it, but I'm pretty sure I have 3 of those same exact cards in the server that I bought off of eBay. And I want to say I installed Windows initially to do some testing, but I don't remember if I installed Windows 7 or Windows 10. So I can't confirm it right off the bat, but what I can say though is that with a quick Google research with the LSI 9211, first of all, beast card. Everyone loves this card, especially in IT mode. When I did a quick Google search on this with Windows 10, like this card, comma, Windows 10, I didn't really find anyone having major issues. I had some people asking, or I found some people asking questions in forums whether or not it was supported by Windows 10. People seem to say yes. People seem to say the same thing. They're not finding any issues. I haven't gotten any direct confirmation personally, but I would just recommend doing some Google research and confirming it. But I do think that this one should work with Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 without any issues. So do some more research, but you know, my little crystal ball saying you're probably going to be in good luck. Well, that's it for today, guys. That is all the questions that I have. Thank you for watching. Appreciate every question you guys sent me. If you have any more, again, post them down below. This is a video that I will start for next month's video where I answer questions from this video first. Stay tuned, all you Patreon subscribers. I will be blasting your names at the end of this video. Again, thank you very much for supporting me. I appreciate every single one of you. Get your shirts. Post those in the Patreon page, actually. Send me a message. And yeah, that's all I got. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.